Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And this week we got some pretty surprising figure announcements. Starting with the Premium Bandai Limited Metal Robot Spirits Prototype Asshimar TR3 Kehaar Space Type, releasing in November for 29,700 yen, 184 US. Not something that I ever expected to get such a high-end figure, but I sure am glad that it did because this thing looks amazing. As is to be expected from the Metal Robot Spirits line, it's got a ton of details, it makes use of die-cast parts to give it some extra heft, it can transform, the sub-arms can be deployed, and it also comes with a nice array of accessories. There's an action base, extra hands, a beam rifle, and spare magazines that can be mounted on the booster pods. As for the transformation, by the way, it is almost a complete transformation. When going from mobile suit mode to mobile armor mode, the only thing you have to remove are the red wires in the middle of the torso. Everything else transforms. Also, with those booster pods, it is a pretty sizable figure, so while 29,700 yen is by no means a small price to pay, the figure does do a very good job at justifying that price. This is a statement that my wallet does not agree with. Even more expensive then is the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Zaku Desert Type. It's releasing in December for 33,000 yen, 204 US, and it is also Premium Bandai Limited. Again, a very expensive figure, but again, it does come with some really cool features that also add a lot of play value to this thing, or, posing value, because you're probably not really going to be playing with this thing. First of all, it comes with everything you'd want from a Desert Zaku. It's got its custom Zaku machine gun, spare magazine for that Zaku machine gun, 2 grenade pods with 2 grenades each, 2 Rats River double missile launchers, 2 Rats River triple missile launchers, and a buckler shield. And the big feature with these is that their connector is kind of universal, so you can store them wherever you want on the mobile suit. There's a storage point on the left, right, and back of the skirt armor, 2 on the buckler shield, and 2 on the shoulder shield. Plus, we're even getting some extra joint parts to make double sure that anything can be stored anywhere, anytime you want. So, if you want, everything can be stored on this thing at once, and in multiple different variations even. And that is far from the only feature that it comes with. It's got some superb articulation, and the monoeye can be moved through a hidden lever on the back of the head. Again, this is not a cheap figure, but if you want a Desert Zaku, this is probably the ultimate Desert Zaku you can get. And just today then, they announced 3 new Gachapon releases. Slated for a late September release, there is the latest Machibouke lineup. The series where the characters are sitting in the fetal position until it is finally their time to launch into battle. And this time, it is GQuuuuuX themed. For 400 yen a spin, $2.50, you can get Machu, Nyaan, Shuji, and the GQuuuuuX. Making this, I think, the first lineup that combines pilots and a mobile suit, because previous lineups were always either all mobile suits or all characters. And it is cool that the GQuuuuuX is slightly bigger than the character, so you still get a slight sense of scale here. Slated for a late October release is Mobile Suit Ensemble Gundam Mecha 2. Also going for 400 yen a spin, $2.50, you'll be able to get some vehicles for your Assemble collection that don't always get figures. There's Gorma's Dop, a Miguel attack in 08th MS team colors, a Saberfish with a base to put it on, a Kui, and a Space Launch, which they misspelled as a Space Lunch. In Japanese, they might be spelled the same, but in English, they are 2 very different words. If your battleship is blown up, your space lunch isn't gonna do you a whole lot of good. And finally, slated for a late November release are these Gundam Seed Freedom Nokkarundesu figures. And the idea here is that you can sit them on various edges, like either the little block they come with, a table, or something else like it. Also, the block has Gundam Seat Freedom on the front, and then a related mobile suit on the back. So for 500 yen a spin, 3 US, you can get Kira with the Rising Freedom, Lacus with the Mighty Strike Freedom, Atheron and the Infinite Justice Type 2, and Kigali and the Strike Rouge. Related to the figure news then, are these new Chibinui Plushy Keychains from Double Zeta Gundam. Releasing in October through either Premium Bandai or the Shop Nui online store, you can get Judo, Puru, Haman, or Machimouke for 2,200 yen each, 14 US. My little dictator can't be this cute. For the Gunpla related news then, we got this new Gundam artifact lineup. Releasing in October for 550 yen a set, around $3.50, is the Gundam Artifact Best Selection. As the title indicates, the lineup of this set consists of the most popular kits from previous Gundam Artifact sets. So we've got the Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, Cublé, the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Ortega Custom, and a Zaku 2 High Mobility Type that can be built either as Gaius unit or Mash's unit. As always, the kits are small but highly detailed, and they're molded in a pale orange reminiscent of a resin kit. Usually, there's also the possibility of getting a rare clear version, but I don't see any mention of this on the page. I would expect there to be one, but it's just, again, it's not listed. What is for certain is that a soda-flavored piece of chewing gum is included, and that the Gundam Artifact line seems to be far from finished, because also on the page, they say that together with that new Artifact Pro line, they'll be doing their best to keep everyone excited for the line. And how are you going to keep people excited for the line? By releasing more of them. Staying with the Gunpla news, from July the 10th until August the 31st, a Gundam-based pop-up store will be setting up shop in Yokohama. It is part of the Gundam-based pop-up World Tour 2026, and it is the final one for Japan. It'll be on the 8th floor of the Yokohama Sky Building. And if all of those action figures and Gunpla made you hungry, then in October, you can go for the SD Gundam G Generation Eternal Snack number 2. If I remember correctly, these were already announced, but now we've got all of their details, including the images for most of the stickers you can collect. For 181 yen, a little over $1, you can buy a package containing teriyaki flavored snacks and one of 32 stickers. 10 of those stickers are holographic, and then of those 10, 2 are secret ones. Moving on to the Gundam X news. And first of all, we've got a small update for the Gundam X episodes that are currently being aired on YouTube. After stating that they were experimenting with machine-translated subtitles, Bandai came out and made an announcement that they're only using machine translations for the non-English subtitles. The English subtitles on the YouTube videos will be using the previously available official ones. Now, this is very good news for the English version, but not quite as good news for the non-English subtitles, because this means that they are a machine translation of a translation, and ideally, you'd want a translation straight from the source material. Also, even though the English subtitles didn't end up being machine translated, I think it's a good thing that everyone was very clear in voicing their opinions to make it very clear to Bandai that we don't want cheap machine translated subtitles for our Gundam series. And talking about the Gundam X anime, the 2018 Blu-ray Memorial Box is getting a re-release on March 26, 2027. For 57,200 yen, 354 US, this set comes with an exclusive manga, a video jacket art book, a special booklet, all 39 episodes of the anime, a storage box to store everything in, and a bunch of video extras. This includes creditless openings and endings, Gunpla commercials, anime commercials, audio commentary for 6 episodes, and Gundam X cutscenes from a variety of video games. And if you want some more Gundam X reading material, then on January 26, 2027, they're releasing the Gundam X Complete Records Collection AW 30th Chronicle Artbook Collection. For 14,300 yen, 88 US, it'll come with 2 books, each containing at least 250 pages, making for a total of 500 pages, well, at least 500 pages of all kinds of Gundam X artwork. Book 1 is called Dreams and has a story guide for every episode, storyboards from the first and final episode, and also interviews with the cast and staff. Book 2 then is called Resolution and will have setting material, character art, mecha art, rough drafts, and more. And then we're of course also getting a special box to put both of these books inside of. The art is still being finalized, but these are the drafts that they've released so far. Quite the collection indeed. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, we got 2 live streams giving us a lot of information for both the Gundam card game and SD Gundam G Generation Eternal. So, on the 18th, the stream for the Gundam card game went live, and they started by giving us some more information about already announced sets. Like for example, tomorrow, we're getting Starter Deck number 10, Generation Pulse, and the Extra Booster Pack Set number 1, Eternal Nexus. Both are made in collaboration with SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, and feature many cards that are specifically made for group battles, instead of the standard 1 versus 1 mode. For example, the new Zeta Gundam card has the potential to attack twice, but it can't target the same player twice. And for the collectors, there's also cards with brand new alternative art. And it's not just the physical card game that's having a collaboration with G Generation Eternal. A G Generation Eternal deck has also been added to the Gundam card game teaching app, so that you can already get a feel for how the new deck and the booster set will play. Next up, on July the 24th, the Freedom Ascension booster set will be releasing, featuring new series like Char's Counterattack, G Gundam, and Endless Waltz. And what is also included is a brand new rarity called Link Rare, or LKR for short. These are cards that have both the mobile suit and its pilot on the card, and they're also nice and shiny. Something that was also announced, but without a lot of information, is the first anniversary set. It'll become available through Premium Bandai at some point in summer, with more information coming later. So literally the only thing that we know so far is that it's going to be happening, and that is Premium Bandai Limited. Oh, and we're also getting some Japan-only events for that anniversary. Then there's some more Japan-only stuff, even more Japan-only stuff, a new Marin card, and the release schedule for the upcoming sets. Like I already mentioned, tomorrow we are getting the G Generation Eternal Collaboration Booster Set and Starter Deck, and then on July 25th, Japan time, the Freedom Ascension Booster Pack. Then on September 26th, we are getting a bunch of starter decks. There's Starter Deck 11, Aquatic Assault, featuring Char Zagok, Starter Deck 12, Raging Onslaught, featuring the Epion, Starter Deck 13, Silent Barrage, featuring the Q-Blade Mark II, and probably also a lot of other new type machines as well, and Starter Deck 14, Heavy Dominion, featuring the O. This isn't followed by Booster Pack 6, Stardust Trails on October 31st, with the poster mobile suit being the GPO-1 Full Burnian. For the final 3 sets then, we are only getting a release date. For some, this release date is more vague than for others, and that's pretty much it, because even their name is just like a placeholder name. Booster Pack 7 is releasing on January 30th. Extra Booster Pack number 2 is releasing in winter of 2027, and then the 15th starter deck, here listed as the Ultimate Deck, is releasing in spring of 2027. And that was it for the Gundam card game. So on to the SD Gundam G Generation Eternal livestream we go. And the first thing they showed off is their release roadmap for Q3. Starting on June 30th, there is the Gundam F91 main stage, with the featured units being the Gundam F91, the Rafflesia, the Vignagina, the Brigadallas, the Heavy Gun, and the Ebiru S, and the featured characters being Seabook, Cecily, Zabine, and Carozzo. Mid to late June, then, is giving us something very different. The E-Simulator UC0079 event. To put it simply, it's a what-if simulator. And the example they gave us during the livestream is what if Amuro piloted the full armor Gundam, and they also said that many other exciting possibilities will also be included. So we can probably expect many more what ifs to become part of this E-Simulator. Featured units are the Perfect Zeong and the Gundam Full Armor, and featured characters are Lala Soon and Sayla Mass swimsuit version. So, what if Sayla launched in the Gundam while wearing a swimsuit? I wonder how that's going to impact the timeline. Anyways, from mid to late August, we are getting a double SD Gundam story event. There's Side Story 2, Colossus of Legend, with the Giant Psycho Golem, Martial Artist Nemo, Warlock Masala, and Warrior Desert Zaku, and Side Story 3, The Knights of Algas, featuring the Swordsman Zeta Gundam, Fighter Double Zeta Gundam, Mage Nu Gundam, and Theo Dante. And to make sure that you're caught up to the story, from early to mid-August, they're re-releasing Side Story 1, La Crowan Hero. And then last but not least, from mid to late September, there is the Gundam 00F story event, featuring the Astrea Type F, Jinx 2 Sword, Hayana, and Chal Acoustica. Outside of the game then, we also got some cool announcements, like a brand new 4-panel manga that will start serialization in the next issue of Gundam Ace. On the cover, we've got Lacus, Soletta, Hero, Amuro, Quattro, the RX-78-2, and the Psycho Haro. Then they talked a little bit about their collaboration with the Gundam card game, and then they talked about probably their biggest announcement. The Premium Bandai Limited Robot Spirit's Sidames Great Zeong. A massive action figure releasing in February for a massive 35,200 yen, 218 US. Making this the most expensive action figure that got announced this week. Probably also the biggest, but that is essentially what you get for the combination of the Zeong, the Absolus 3, and the Big Zam. It is, of course, very impressive, because not only is it huge, you can also split it into its individual parts for an all-range attack. And when in this all-range attack mode, the parts transform slightly and a mono-eye is revealed. And in the livestream, they also talked a bit about the difficulties of turning this thing into a figure. Because keep in mind, even though this was mentioned, the Great Zeong was mentioned in the original MSV series, it didn't get physical form until the G Generation games, where they are using super deformed mobile suits. So to turn this thing into a full-sized machine, they didn't really know how big this thing had to be. They knew it had to be big, but not exactly how big. And well, it definitely became a very big action figure. As for the accessories, it comes with an action base that can be displayed in both normal mode and in that all-range attack mode. Also, for the people pre-ordering this thing, they'll also get a G Generation Eternal promo code, giving you 10 premium gadget tickets, 30 SSR unit enhancement data, 30 SSR character enhancement data, and 30 SSR supporter enhancement data. Do keep in mind that this code might only be usable on the Japanese servers. And then they also talked about some smaller things on stream, both for in the game and out of the game. But for those, I'll have the live stream linked down below. For the rest of the Gundam news then, for Gundam Battle Operation 2, we also got quite the announcement, because rather than the usual Universal Sentry mobile suits, both the PlayStation version and the Steam version will be getting 00 mobile suits. Today we are getting the 00 Riser, and next week we are getting the Susanoo. And then in the global version of UC Engage, the 3rd championship went live, as well as an ultra-limited unit assembly for the UR Tobia Aronax and his UR Crossbone Gundam X1 full cloth. In other news then, we got a slight change in plans for the Hirotoshi Sano exhibition. Last week, it was announced that on June 27th, Yoshikazu Yasuhiko and Hirotoshi Sano would be making an appearance at that exhibition. But due to Typhoon Mekala, this has been postponed to the 4th of July. As for the things you could get this week then, we started big on the 20th with the release of the Metal Robot Spirit's KA Signature XS Gundam Recoordinate version. Although you should keep in mind that this isn't a, new release. Recoordinate version means that this is for the most part just a re-release, but with brighter and more eye-catching colors. The good news is, of course, that the old XS Gundam was already a fantastic figure that didn't really need any upgrades. The other difference then lies with the accessories. It still comes with all of the accessories from the old version, like the Beam Smart Gun, the incomes, cables for the incomes, repeaters for the cables, beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, and a bunch of hand options, but it now also comes with a replacement face part showing that the Alice system has been activated, so it is cool that we are getting something new. The price then has also been upped, going from 18,150 yen up to 26,400 yen, or 112 US to 163 US. A big boy for a big price. On the 22nd then, it was the complete opposite, because on that day, you could gacha for the re-release of Mobile Suit Ensemble 14. Pocket-sized figures for a pocket-sized price. 500 yen a spin, 3 US, will get you either the Wing Gundam, the Gundam H1 Normal, the Zeta Plus A1, an option set with Titus and Sparrow parts for the Gundam H1, and another option set with a, variety of things. It's got effect parts for the Titus, a statue of Flit, and parts to turn the Zeta Plus A1 into the Zeta Plus C1. And one day later, you could again try out your luck, but this time at the arcade with some prize figures, and there was quite the selection. Like this Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode Final Battle Specification Bust Sensor Light. It lights up when you stand in front of it, and that is actually both really cool and also very convenient. Just wave your hand at it and it lights up. I wonder how far the sensor is gonna go. Another figure you could go for is the Genkai Toppa RX-78-2 Gundam. It stands at a massive 28 centimeters tall, making it roughly 1/60th scale, and it combines a more retro-looking body with a more modern-looking face, so definitely a very interesting combination. And finally on the 23rd, you could go for the ending version of either Machu and Haro or Nyaan and Conch. It features both girls, as well as their robot companions, in their outfits from GQuuuuuX's ending. So Haro and Conch are both wearing sunglasses, which is absolutely adorable. Grab both of them and get your own house party started. Next up then, releasing today, Japan time, are these two limited Gunpla over at Japanese Gundam bases. For 6,930 yen, 43 US, there is the high-grade Zai Gundam, or Xi Gundam, clear color version theatrical release commemoration package, which is of course the same one that was previously sold in Japanese theaters. And then for 3,300 yen, 20 US, there is the high-grade Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam Recirculation Color Neon Blue version. The mold is the same as the regular kit, but it is now made with recycled plastic, also known as EcoPla, which then gives this kit its very distinctive black color scheme, with some nice neon blue for contrast. Also, it now has an extra set of marking stickers. And finally releasing in late June, we've got some more figures. For 1,650 yen, 10 US, you can get a Mobile Suit themed cat from the Mobile Suit Nyandam Lucky Cat lineup. And they are lucky cats because each of them is holding a lucky coin. You can get either the RX-78-2 Gundam, the Gun Cannon, the Jim, a standard Zaku, Charge the Gawk, or the Zeong. And each of them comes with its own box that they can sit in. except for Shard Zagok. That one comes with a fishbowl, of course, because it is an amphibious mobile suit. Although, if you want, I'm pretty sure you could exchange the cardboard boxes and the fishbowl. Another bit of attention to detail that I absolutely love with these figures is that when you look closely, you'll see that the mono-eye cats don't actually just have a single eye. They're winking. And finally, for 8,800 yen, 54 US, you could get the Lucrea Light Nyaan pilot suit version. As the name indicates, she is in her custom Zeong pilot suit, and you can also choose between two facial expressions: canonically depressed or happy. For this week's reading material then, there was the July issue of Grand Jump Mecha, in which Gundam Rust Horizon is being serialized, the August issue of Shonen Sunday Super, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, the August issue of Hobby Japan, featuring a special on the kits from Cersei, the August issue of Model Graphics, featuring a special on Zaku's, and the cover having like a combination of the real great and the old version, like the really old version of the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type R1A Black Tri-Source Custom. Then there was the August issue of the Science Fiction magazine, featuring the RX-78-2 Gundam on the cover, and Chapter 35 of Gundam Sequel was released for free online and is linked down below. For the apparel news then, Strict G kicked things off on the 20th with these two new Strict G Fab Gundam X t-shirts. For 6,380 yen each, 39 US, you can go for either a blue t-shirt with the Gundam X divider or a black one with the Gundam Versago. And both of them have this really cool vintage look to them, which is described as American casual style with used look. Available in physical Strict G stores on the 27th then are these MAFTY member t-shirts. For 5,830 yen a piece, 36 US, you can get either a faded white, grey or navy t-shirt featuring the iconic orange MAFTY stripes on the sleeves. There's also a MAFTY logo on the bottom of the t-shirt, and they're a bit faded, giving them a vintage worn look, which is of course especially evident on the white t-shirt. Also releasing in physical Strict G stores on the 27th then are these Double Zeta Gundam and Shark's Counterattack face pins, featuring the faces of several important machines. For 990 yen a piece, 6 US, there is the Double Zeta Gundam, the Dovin Wolf, the Keyblade Mark II, the New Gundam, the Sazabi, the Rigazi, the Yok Doga, and the Alpha Azieru. And finally for Strict G, you can get some Zeon and Federation themed clothes on July the 11th. For 4,950 yen each, 31 US, you can get either a dry t-shirt or dry half pants in Federation Navy or Zeon Black, and for 3,300 yen 20 US, you can grab Grey Federation or Blue Zeon inner wear. Over at Bankura then, they also began with some Gundam X things, but now they're featuring the 30th anniversary key visual. You can get it on an acrylic keychain for 880 yen, $5.50, an acrylic stand for 1,650 yen, 10 US, a tapestry for 3,300 yen, 20 US, a pass case for 1,540 yen, 9 US, a PVC pouch for 1,650 yen, 10 US, and a B2 towel for 3,300 yen, 20 US. All of which can be yours in August. And finally releasing in September is this Lala's Horoscope series. It's the first time that I'm seeing these images, and I'm guessing for a lot of you as well, but apparently these were used on the Gundam fan club, so I guess they had like a horoscope section? But anyways, you can get a zodiac sign with an adorable illustration of Lala as either an acrylic keychain for 1,100 yen, 7 US, an acrylic stand for 990 yen, 6 US, or a mini towel for another 990 yen, 6 US. And this week, they didn't just announce clothes for yourself to wear, but also clothes for your bottles to wear. For 5,280 yen, 33 US, you can get an insulated Gundam bottle holder inspired by either Amro's or Char's uniform. They're designed for holding 600 milliliter bottles, and I love how they did the arms of the uniform. Also, you can easily clip them onto your backpack for extra convenience. They're slated for an August release through Premium Bandai. And that has been all for this week's Gundam News. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam News.